Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kahaloyim, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who were well. Salutations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to you sisters, you Akwathium, to you Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. And yeah, here he is. This is your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. And
17:4, and in the CSB it says, "You will on your own relinquish your inheritance." Again, they'd like the KJV rendering better, but they look at it as, hey, you're going to lose your inheritance. In Jeremiah 17:4, it's promised our identity to be stripped away. Now, the inheritance really has to do with the land and the related promises, and you can see that in other passages.
Sure.
And there in Jeremiah 17:4, you can even see it, if you read through the whole passage, that it's not, because it even says right after it, that I gave you. It literally says it right after it. I will make you serve your enemies in a land you do not know. So they're losing.
There's the land element,
Yeah. And
no, there's the slavery element. Because if I'm gonna lose my my knowledge and serve someone, or my heritage and serve someone, that means I'm losing my whole way of life. And then his whole thing was like, yeah, though that happened to black people, that doesn't mean that it's from a Hebraic thing. Well, then who else did it happen to? When you're saying the Jews, the Jewish people of small hats, has never forgotten. They 1,000 years later, they know exactly. They come on now. You know?
another thing about a lot of these promises of destruction have to do with Israel being removed from her land.
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy 28, the transatlantic slave trade equivalency thesis, if you want to call it something like that, meaning it requires Israelites being ripped out of their land.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the transatlantic slave trade, they're being ripped out of West Africa. They're not even being taken away from the land.
Right, they're not being taken away from Israel again.
Right. So I try to challenge some of the very presuppositions, but it's very difficult because
did not, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, say flee into the mountains? But that's why I said this dude don't believe in the Bible. He just want his preconceived preposition or whatever, his thing to be his way, in order for you, because if it's their way, we're always at the bottom. Go to any. I've been to these Christian churches, and they're still racist against you. I've been to an apostolic church where we're mostly nothing but Mexicans at this apostolic church, and there were a lot of started to be a lot of black people starting to go to that church, and you could tell the people were like, "Dang, look!" You could almost feel the tension in the air about the black people going there, and the pastor could sense it too, and he had to get up on stage and go, "Well, you have to remember that Jesus is a Jew." And you could tell people go, "Oh, yeah. You could tell that it released some of the... So even to this day, all these different people are racist against so-called black people, man. Yeah, we know that the so-called Mexicans are Issachar, but a lot of them have that racist tendency from the things that they were taught, right? And that's being discontinued from your heritage, man. Heritage don't deal with just your land. It deals with your language, your customs, the way you wear your clothes, the way you talk, the way you walk. Your whole entire swag is your inheritance, right? Just to chalk it up to some word that means because it's going into the land, but we're actually, when you look into inheritance, it actually talks about money. Is money land? I mean, you got to really start thinking, man. That's stupid. Right? Your inheritance is everything that makes you you. Your genetic makeup, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you know what I'm saying? See, because they'll feed you that stuff about, oh, well, there's people darker because they live in this region of the world, and it's because of the food that they eat that their hair is this type of. Okay, which we know that's all BS. But all that makes sense until it's time to say that we're the Israelites. And we gotta say nope. It wasn't the land because you were moved. You were moved from that land. You were moved from Africa. Well, where are the Jews who fled from the land in 70 AD when the Lord said flee into the mountains? Where are they at? They left. Hey, what did the president of Egypt say? They left back black and came back white. Because even if that's so, it would not be that many that come back white. You know what I'm saying? Because like people like to say, oh, that's a region where there's a lot of dark people, and it's real, it's a lot of sun and all this other stuff. Well, yeah and no, because Esau was part of that area, but Esau knew what to do. He needed to be in the Caucasus Mountains most of the time, right? Where it had a lot more shade, all those trees and different things, and but yeah. So this is Deuteronomy 11:11. But the land, whether, right, ye go to possess it, right? So he's saying, oh, it's not saying that you were driven from the land of Africa. It's talking about the land of Israel. That's the only place you could be driven off of, right? But not counting that we were in many captivities and a lot of things he's not counting on. But the main thing he's counting on is Christian ignorance, right? That's the main thing he's counting on, right? So let's look up the word whether. Whither. To what place or state, to whatever place or state that they want to go. You know what I mean? Wherever you're going. Right? Let's see if there's any more definition that kind of goes. Whatsoever place, wherever, right? So right, that's basically what the etymology online said. It went from the high word to whether, and basically means wherever you want to go. Wherever you go, right? So, but what land, whither ye go to possess it, it is the land, it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven, right? So every place in the world, it rains. Whether if it's a lot or a little bit, that doesn't matter. Wherever it rains, that's where the children of Israel can go. Matter of fact, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 53. And before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and say this, that all you other churches stem off from the Catholic Church, where you apostolic or Episcopalian or Christian, Baptist, Methodist, Jehovah Witness, Mormons, all that stuff, even Islam, all stem from Catholic Church. So the Catholic Church has this in their Bible, so it's canon. So it says, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 53. And upon the 6th day, thus has gave commandment unto the earth before thee, that it should bring forth beasts, cattle, and creepy things. And after these, Adam also, whom thus made its Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. So everybody comes out of Adam because of Noah. If anyone else from a different lineage of Noah, that will be a completely different lineage, and then you couldn't say everybody came from Adam, right? So now everybody on earth right now today can go back all the way back to Adam. But we're all different people, obviously. And that's what it's going to go into. Of him come we all, right? And additional, the people also whom thus has chosen. So even amongst that, just like in the time that when the Lord made the earth in the beginning, there were other nations besides Adam and Eve, but the Lord chose Adam, or the Adamites, for lack of better word, and chose them to put the breath in, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Right? He didn't just have the law of not touching the tree. He had all the laws. Right? So, and the people whom thus has chosen, right? So you got chosen people, which are the Israelites, or at that time were the Adamites. He chose those out of all the other people that were on the earth at that time, right? Which would be the sons of God. And all this have I spoken before thee, O God, which is Yahweh, O Lord, Yahweh, because thus made it the world. Wait, what did the Lord do? He said, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, or Yahweh, because thus made it the world for our sake. So the Lord made the world for the Israelites' sake, for the true sons of God's sake. Right? So to be like, it could only be the land of Israel. Well, the world was made for our sake. So it's not just the land of Israel. Yeah, so this is Deuteronomy 32:8. It says, to prove that the Lord made the world for the Israelites' sake. When the Most High, which is Yahweh, divided the nations, so he don't want all the nations to be together, right? He's dividing the nations. So this whole big old thing that all these different nationalities and all these different nations are going to be in there in heaven, just coexistence and getting the blessings right along with Israel after you put us in slavery. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, wait. Inheritance. Wait a minute. When Yahweh divided the nations, their inheritance, right? So this is something that the Lord saying, I'm giving you specifically. When he separated the sons of Adam, everybody, we all go back to Adam. But when he separated the sons of Adam and the people whom thus has chosen, so that's a separation right there. And set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So yeah, you got certain lands that the Lord gave you, but it's according to the children of Israel. And matter of fact, let's see how much according it is to the children of Israel. Genesis chapter 26, verse 4, and I will make thy seed, which he's talking to Abraham, to multiply as the stars of heaven. And man, there's so many stars. When you go, be able to go outside and look at the stars, or get you a stethoscope, I think is how you say it. I mess it up. But look up into the sky when it's dark. There's so many stars, you can't count them, right? So this is the number, this is the bounds of the children of Israel, right? As the stars of heaven, and will give thy seed all the countries, and thy seed, not everybody, thy seed, your seed, which comes from your loins, all the nations of the earth be blessed of thy seed. Why? Because we're scattered over every nation of the earth, which the Lord was based. He was already prophesying to Abraham that we will be in every nation under heaven, right? Just like it tells you that in Acts, that Jews, devout men out of every place under heaven, all these places under heaven will be blessed, right? It's not talking about blessing these whole bunch of other nations. That's just ridiculous. When it's saying thy seed, right? So this is Hosea chapter 1, right? To let you know how many Israelites there is going to be, right? And yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sands of the sea, right? So when you think of the sea, right, and it's not just, there's plenty of oceans. What is it, like 8 oceans? So, and there's sand everywhere. You can't, if you on one ocean or one beach, you could not count the sands on the beach, let alone the sands even in the sea also, right? So should be as the sands of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that the place where it was said unto them that ye, wait, when had that happened? I mean, because you're saying this stuff, but when had that happened to the people who's Jewish, who you're saying, well, if they're saying that these guys are imposters and they know about this things from thousands of years ago, and well, when have it been said in the land that they wasn't the people? Right? I'll wait, because I mean you're not saying anything, right? Because it was never said that, right? Because you don't want to say that, because it's going to reveal who really is if you do that. Because we know what Hitler actually said. Yeah, that it was a Swatza, which means you know what that is, right? So yeah, yeah, and measured cannot be measured nor numbered, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it should be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. Which, going back to Adam, right? Adam was the son of God. Yasha, basically prince of God or prince of power, right? So this is Joshua or Yahushai. Every place that the soles, right, the bottom of your feet, the soles of your foot shall tread, right, which wherever it tread down, wherever it goes, tread up upon that I have given unto you, right? And we already read that the world was made for our sake, or for the Israelites' sake, for the people the Lord has chosen, which are the Israelites. The world was made for the Israelites. As I said unto Moses, right? Exodus 23, like, because you're saying all these things. Well, first of all, the number of the children of Israel should be as the sands of the sea, or as the stars. So it's numerous. So that land in itself have not contained all the Israelites. Matter of fact, that's why I'm going here. It says Exodus 23, and I'm going to go 27. It says, I will send my fear before thee, and will destroy all the people of whom thus shall come, and I will make all thy enemies turn their back, which means they're going to be running in fear, unto thee, and I will send hornets, right? And then you have the murder hornet here recently, before thee, which shall drive out the Hivitites, the Canaanites, and the Hittites from before thee, and I will not drive them out before thee. I will not drive them out before thee in 1 year. Like, it's not just going to happen just in 1 year and wipe it out all fast, lest the land become desolate and the beast of the field multiply against thee. So the Lord said, I don't want you to just wipe it all out in one whole year, and then there's no other people, so the animals won't be afraid. Then the animals will come attack the Israelites. So he's like, I don't want that to happen. It's going to be, it's going to be a process of you eliminating them and taking them out, right? But little by little and little I will drive them out from before thee, until thus be increased and inherit land. Oh, wait a minute. There's something else that needs to be said, right? Because, so this is Numbers chapter 33, and it says, this is the Lord saying what would happen if they didn't do it. But we understand, according to Deuteronomy 28, that they didn't do it. There were things they didn't do. Just like going into the land, the things they were supposed to do, they were supposed to drive out all these other nations, but they didn't do it. So they didn't live everything up to the full capacity of what they were supposed to in the first place. So you cannot say it's just the land, right? It's not us just being driven out of the land, because we were driven in every place. And the Lord made the world for our sake. And wherever we put the soles of our feet, you can say, well, that was just saying it amongst the time that he was saying that was them getting into the land, and he was going to give them their portion, right? Which is basically, if you read this Numbers, right where I'm at, right? But look, this is what the Lord said, because the Lord is dealing with the Israelites forever. You know what I'm saying? Forever. You know what I'm saying? And when he gives us, it's not going to just be a little piece of land. And matter of fact, where's the gold and the silver? Where's the people who are in that land? Where's the streets of gold? Where's the Golden Gate? Like, nobody's asking these people that, right? That's why I want to ask vocab. Where is the Golden Gate? So, but if ye will not drive out the inhabitants, the people who live in there already, the Hittites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, whatever, however you want to say it, right? Those people, right? Out of the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that which ye let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your side, right? Because these other nations were, and you can attest to that, to why David had to fight against Goliath. You can attest to that's why Samson had to go against the Philistines, right? Oh, which basically same thing. David went against the Philistines too, right? Right? But these different nations, right, that were around, they were disturbing them, right? So we can attest that what the Lord said was true, right? And it come one day, or just all of a sudden. It took time, because just like he said, I need you to take time to drive them out. So it says, it shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and shall vex you in the land whither ye dwell. Wherever you go to dwell at, they're going to vex you. So it doesn't just mean the land of Israel, even though in some parts it is talking about that. And the main part, it is talking about that because that's the land that the Lord was talking to Moses and to Joshua, which is Yahushua, right? Was talking about to get that land, right? Which he's not the Yahushua that, our Savior, but that was the name, that they gave him, So, but then so moreover, it shall come to pass that I shall do unto wait. It shall come to pass that I should do. It shall come to pass that I shall do unto you as I thought to do unto them, where they're destroyed and put off the land. And the Israelites were supposed to constantly move them out bit by bit by bit by bit, little by little, in order for them to completely take over the landmass. And then who knows how big the landmass would have actually gotten if they would have continued to do what they were told to do. Right? And a people as numerous as the stars will not be able to fit just on that land that's Israel right now, especially what it is right now. Right? So as numerous as the stars, numerous as the sands of the sea. So you can't number it. So there you go. So that doesn't make sense. It just has to be the land. So call volume Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakal Kudash. Right? Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim and the 401s preaching the truth and sincerity, risking their lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, the elect. Shalom to you Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. To you sisters, you Akwaftium, have come back to the fold, who listen and learn under your husband in sincerity and in truth and in silence. And death to America.